year is 2026. Camera technology at this point in history is the best it has ever been. Just for some examples, autofocus is now insanely powerful. Mono cameras don't just track faces, they can use deep learning AI to identify and lock onto specific subjects. Autofocus now works in conditions so dark you can barely see. Speaking of that, low light sensitivity, ISO ranges now defy physics. Standard ISO ranges now hit between 164,000, which is expandable to a staggering 204,800 ISO. You can shoot in situations where your eyes can struggle to see detail. You've got 12-bit raw video internally to SD cards, 4K oversampled from 6K. You've got medium format size sensors that can deliver 15.3 stops of dynamic range, 16-bit raw photos, and even smartphones are incredibly powerful for photography. They don't have big lenses, but they're solving it with folded zoom structures. Samsung's all lenses on prism design places lenses horizontally, enabling larger apertures without making the phone any thicker. Computational photography with AI-powered noise reduction, multi-frame HDR, and even meta lenses that use neural networks to correct chromatic aberration. So we're at a point where a $1,700 camera can lock focus in near total darkness, shoot 4K video internally, raw, and stabilize your handheld footage. So video is practically perfect. It's more perfect than the human eye can see. Digital technology has objectively won the technical battle. So why is it in the past year alone, 3 camera companies have released new film cameras? At least no less than 3. Pentax 17, the Rollei AF, and the Lomo MCA. Why is film in such high demand? Why are young kids now gravitating towards 20, 30-year-old digicams? What is this pursuit of imperfection in photography and video? One notable thing about the Super Bowl commercials this year, multiple commercials were made to look like they were shot on film. This past year alone, ChatGPT and Nike and several other companies have gone for a vintage film look to make you feel something. Here's my thought. It's not about technical superiority. It's about an emotional response. We are craving authenticity in a medium that has become almost objectively perfect. So we're going to talk about that more today. I'm going to show you how to get that analog look and find that emotional response in digital video and photos using Dehancer, which has provided me with a trial subscription so I can show you guys how to use it. Stick around to learn how you can get 10% off your purchase of Dehancer software. Digital photos and videos are sterile. They're clinical. It shows us too much, records exactly what happened, doesn't tell us how it feels. On the flip side, analog film introduces these happy accidents: grain, halation, color bleed. These imperfections actually signal to our brain that this moment is organic and human, as opposed to computer generated. For older generations, it's nostalgia. They grew up with film photography and film video. For Gen Z and millennials, it's anemoia, which is nostalgia for a time that we've never lived in. The film look acts as a shortcut to that vintage emotion. It makes a video taken today feel like a memory, feel like something that should be remembered. When film was king, it forced you to slow down. On, my Pentax, I can maybe take the fastest 2 or 3 photos a second, but I have to stop, I have to focus manually, I have to think about it. On my Holga, I can maybe take 1 photo every 3 seconds. By comparison, a modern digital camera can take upwards of 11, 12, sometimes 15 photos per second at 24 megapixel raw photo. By adding film emulation to our digital photos and videos, we are mentally asking the viewer to slow down, to look closer. Even if the footage was shot digitally, it makes you want to explore and look at the grain, look at the halation, look at those elements. So, what is Dehancer? What is the software I'm talking about? It's not a LUT. It's not a filter. It's not something you would find on Instagram. This is an actual simulation engine that you attach to Lightroom, DaVinci Resolve, or whatever your preferred photo and video editing softwares are. It mimics the chemical process. They've done a lot of work to exactly simulate the way light reacts with emulsion layers on particular film stocks, the way the film stock handles highlights, the way it reacts to those development chemicals. There are over 60 film profiles, a grain algorithm, which is different than just digital noise, halation, bloom, and gate weave for video. Like I said, they were kind enough to let me use their software. So let's take a look at how that works now. All right, so I've jumped into Lightroom. I use Lightroom Creative Cloud. Dehancer I know works on Lightroom Classic as well. It works in Photoshop. It's really versatile. So I'm just going to give you the barest bones explanation of this and let you explore whatever you want as well. But if you select the photo you'd like to edit, right click and go to edit in, and you've got Dehancer Lightroom, and that'll just open up in a separate panel here. And this is what you've got. You've got your photo. On the left hand side here, you can select whichever film you would like to emulate. And like I said, there are a ton of options here. Got everything from ADOX color implosion all the way down to Svema type 42. There's not going to be everything, obviously. These are all kind of the more common or more prevalent. But you've got Ektachrome, you've got Ektar, you've got your Ilfords, HP5, Kodachrome. Kodachrome I've found is pretty much my favorite. And you can scroll through and it'll even give you a sample here of what it's going to look like. On the right hand side, it's got your input, so you can choose where your color space is, and then your output, and choose your film developer, compression. Look at all these different settings you can do here. And there's even different presets that you can set. So if you'd like a certain combination, you can save it and leave it in here. Really like to do something like that. So you got just tons and tons of options. And then you okay it, you save it, and it will save it in Lightroom, and you can continue doing your edits as normal. You might want to do your normal edits beforehand, but up to you. But anyway, super simple, really easy to use. Okay, now we're in DaVinci Resolve, and pretty similar. If you know how to use your color page, your library of effects here on the right, and right there under film emulation, there's Dehancer. So you just drag and drop that on, and you can choose by camera what you shot it on. So I shot it on a Sony 6500. I shot it in S-Log3 Gamma 3 Cine. If I think that's a little too dark, I can raise that up. Obviously, you can scroll through here and just got a sample video of the cats. And yeah, okay, I kind of like that. Let's choose our different film here. I think Portrait 800, pretty much my favorite so far. But say I want some more contrast on that. I want the gamma different. Color separation, color boost. So you can desaturate if you like. Look at this whole panel. You can just change all of these different settings. So there's tons and tons of stuff you can do here. So I fully encourage you to get in there, get your hands dirty, and experiment for yourself. So there you have it. I used it on DaVinci Resolve and Lightroom. But if those options don't appeal to you, if you go here to products, they also have a mobile app you can use on iOS, and they have an online version of their software. So if DaVinci Resolve or other video editing apps like Final Cut, After Effects, Premiere, if those don't work for you, you can definitely use them on your phone or in the online options. So there you have it. Dehancer is a technical marvel. This is really well-made software. It works really well with DaVinci Resolve and Lightroom. In my personal experience, I'm sure that translates to Premiere, After Effects, whatever you use. But the reason to use it isn't technical, not just because it's a technical marvel. Use it because we want to go not backward in technology, but we want to go forward with emotion. We want to add that, you know, the soul, the warmth, the feeling of film, and those movies, pictures that so shaped our culture and are so important to us. You want to mimic that look. Dehancer is a great way to use it. Go ahead and try it. There's a free trial available. If you like it, please feel free to use my code Charlie10 at checkout and get 10% off your order. And that helps the channel out, helps me out. So thank you very much for doing that. But anyway, thank you again to Dehancer for allowing me to use the software. And thank you all for watching. Get out there and make something.